Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is the Unravel Collective. My name is Yvonne. I channeled the Ninth Dimension Arcturian Council, and today I want to first give you a trigger warning in case there is sensitivity around suicide or mental illness, okay? I know that that can be a very sensitive subject and that there are many of us who have been directly impacted by these things, whether that be ourselves directly or experiencing this through a loved one or family member. So there is your warning. Today I do want to channel information around this topic. A couple of months ago, I received an email asking if I would ask the Arcturians for information around this topic. And so I would like to do that today and find out what they would like to share with us in regards to mental illness and individuals who take their lives after struggling with mental illness. Where do they go? Are they healing after this lifetime? And are they okay? You know, whatever they want to share with us around this. I myself have been directly impacted by a family member taking their life, and that was incredibly, incredibly hard. Um, and you know, you're left with a lot of questions, and you're left with this sense of not knowing like what someone was struggling with or through, and there's just a lot um, for the people left behind. Yeah, so that is what I will be asking today, and let's just see what the Arcturians would like to share with us around this very difficult topic. Can you give us any information around what happens when someone we love, someone with mental illness, takes their own life? What happens to them when they leave or exit this lifetime? Yes, dear, yes. We are aware that this is very sensitive for you to even approach. And so we first want to acknowledge you for the courage to ask this question, not just for yourself, but for those who are watching. This is a very, very difficult and delicate subject to address. And so we will try our best to be quite sensitive in this response and the information that we have to offer you in this moment. Thank you. When we look at the experience of mental illness, we are looking at a variety of different experiences for each individual here. So to make a blanket statement is the first thing we would like to say cannot be done. Okay, so each individual is upon, so to speak, their own journey and their own experience, and it is unique to them. So first we want to acknowledge that there is not one experience that is exactly the same that would cover every single individual that has experienced or will experience a type of mental illness and or will experience the taking of their own life force from the earth plane. So this is something to remember as we go on. with sharing the information that we have to share. Now, when we look at the experience of mental illness and the choice to experience a type of mental illness, there is the opportunity here to choose how mental illness will present itself in an individual's lifetime. And what we're seeing is that oftentimes this is something that is switched on, so to speak, in order to experience a deeper knowing of oneself, let's say. And there is a choice in the matter here to experience this. So this is not just something that happens to you. This is something that has been placed within the body system. Yes. And for some of us, we are making the choice even within our lifetimes of whether or not we are going to still choose to turn this on. And this is quite remarkable, is the word that wants to come up, not in the sense of what a remarkable experience, but rather remarkable at the potential for you to choose your life experience. And so what we're seeing is that even if there was a placement within the body system for this potential to turn on, there is also the potential to leave it off. Now, as we said, each individual is very unique to this choosing. Oftentimes, it is an unconscious choice, yes, and other times, it is something that is created, so to speak, through trauma. So this comes on rather quickly. Now, the area in which you choose, it can be quite tricky once this experience turns itself on, yes? This code, so to speak, this potential code that you have placed before you as a possibility of experience. Once it is turned on, there is still choice in the matter of how do I come back home to center? How do I come back home to my own knowing and self? This is a greater struggle than the average individual, so to speak, who has right mind and right heart and alignment. There is a great distortion that takes place when mental illness comes into the picture, so to speak. And so choice becomes harder to clarify when we are in the throes of mental illness. And this is true for everyone. So mental illness can be quite this big title at the top of the page, right, that has these certain diagnoses below it. But every one of us has experienced a deep sadness or a deep depression, perhaps, or mild depression. Every one of us has experienced some type of anxiety or fear that causes a paralysis within us. And so you know the experience of a distortion that causes you not to be able to see clearly, not to be able to choose with right mind and right heart, to take right action for yourself. Yes? So this is what we speak of when we are talking of a greater mental illness, which causes it to be quite a challenge to see clearly. The distortion is so much bigger, and the challenge is so much greater. But there is still the potential for choice in receiving help, in receiving love and support. And when one is open to this, even if it's just a tiny crack of light coming through, if the individual is capable of centering in on that light, then there is potential for healing. But once again, this is quite challenging. Now, when one individual chooses to exit from the earth plane due to this struggle, again, this can be conscious choice or unconscious choice. Yes, because oftentimes when in the throes of a distortion, the choice being made is not of right mind and right heart, taking a right action. It is an impulse that comes and the action is taken without a thought to the impact being left behind. This is more on the unconscious level here. Now, when an individual chooses to take one's life, they are immediately met with a council or a spirit team, so to speak, to bring them comfort, to bring them solace. They are immediately met with a non-judgmental hand, so to speak. And when we say hand, we are seeing the image of a beautiful light source holding them. Yes, so there is no fear of what has occurred. And there is what we sense an immediate release of the struggle. Because as you can imagine, being in a state of distortion can create a great amount of tension, fear, uncertainty, anxiety, a great loss of oneself, and the sense of safety. And so the most important thing that we are seeing right now is that those who have taken their lives are immediately met with a sense of safety. Because without this sense of safety, sense of comfort, there will be a tendency to continue to be lost, floating in an unknown space. So it is very important for a spirit team, for a council, whoever it be, who is responsible for the keeping of this soul, so to speak. And we do not mean that keeping of the soul is that they are in power of you or anything like this, but rather they are a council of caring guardians to be there, responsible for your sense of safety after such an event. And yes, there will be some review of life, yes. Some review of the experience. Some review of the impact that you have had on those who are left behind. And this is not to bring on sadness or regret. This is simply a space, again, of safety and love and compassion and understanding, in which you simply get to see the impact had. But there is no judgment here. It is just important to have knowledge, yes, as your soul begins to heal itself, begins to take on a new journey, okay? We would like everyone to know who has experienced being left behind here on the earth plane that the individuals are whole. Yes, of course, they are whole. And just like every single one of us are healing. Yes, there is no difference here. Every single one of us, when we leave the physical human body, is still in an experience of growth and healing and further elevation of oneself, capital S, self. So know that they are comfortable, know that they are loved deeply, they are cared for. Know that there is no punishment for taking one's life, but rather there is much more love given. Yes, and again, the same amount of love that is given to any one of us who passes over, the immense sense of safety and peace and well-being and being in the hands of Source. There is no greater experience than this merging back into oneness with Source and knowing that the purity and light and the burning love here is all anyone has the potential to experience when merging with Source. Yes. And this comes in a variety of ways for each one of us. Again, we are all unique to our experience when being met with Source. So this is what wants to come through in this moment, in this time, as far as what we, the Arcturians, have been offered to share with you. And we hope that this has offered some comfort to your heart in knowing that your loved ones are not in a space of fear or punishment or darkness, but rather, just like all of us, are going to be held in the light of God here, in the light of Source, in the light of creation. Each one of us being held in reverence, without judgment, of how we chose to handle the struggle of our experience, or how we chose to exit our experience. Thank you for this opportunity to share this information with you. Thank you all for being such beautiful beings on the earth plane and taking on such a variety of different emotional experiences that are possible to have on the earth plane. And know that your loved ones are safe. This is the most important part of this message that we would like you to leave with. Your loved ones are met with a sense of safety, and they are safe and loved deeply by all of creation. Thank you. May you have a beautiful rest of your day. This has been the Ninth Dimension Arcturian Council. Okay, well, thank you for sending me that email and asking me to channel that for us. You know, I take in the information just like you, and you know, sometimes I have to sit with it myself and just process it, just like all of you. So I hope that it's brought you comfort, and that knowing that our loved ones are safe and being held in light by the highest potential of light, God Source itself. It makes me feel better. Yeah, and I don't know what else to say, because it's so hard right here in my heart. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Thank you so much. I love y'all. I hope you're having a great weekend. I'm going to be traveling for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to be in New Mexico working on stuff for my nonprofit. And oftentimes in New Mexico, I don't have great service because our land is in the middle of nowhere. But if it's possible for me to do a video for you next Saturday and the next 2 Saturdays after that, I will definitely do that. But if I'm in a place where I don't have great service, I'll let you know that I won't be releasing a video that Saturday. Okay, so if you like today's video, please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you soon.